Hello, friends. Let's discuss today's set of questions. And the first one is about military exercise. This is Samanwai 2022. And who conducted it? The answer is already there. So, the humanitarian assistance, joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise, Samanwai, was conducted by the Indian Air Force. Now, I want you to tell, rather, of course, since it's not a two-way conversation we could have, I will tell you from my side who's the head of the Indian Air Force, Air Chief Marshal, Vivek Ram Chaudhary. Vivek Ram Chaudhary. Then, Indian Navy is headed by Admiral R. Harikumar. The Chief of the Indian Army is General Manoj Pandey. The Indian Coast Guard, ladies and gentlemen, is headed by V.S. Pathania. Lieutenant, I think it's Rear Admiral, I'm not very sure. It is V.S. Pathania. I'll find out and let you know in the next session. V.S. Pathania. The National Security Guard, which directly operates under the Ministry of Home Affairs, ladies and gentlemen, is headed by M.A. Ganapathy. Yeah, M.A. Ganapathy. Chalo from here. India has sent a team of geologists to Argentina to assess potential lithium deposits and possible acquisition opportunities in the Latin American nation. Identify the correct statements regarding lithium. All of them are right. Now, I would tell you about these three countries, but about Latin America, this is one of my favorite areas in history. The history of the Americas, especially, Central and South America. So I'll discuss Latin America in the next session. I forgot to put a map here, so I'll bring in the right stuff in the next session. But before we go anywhere, let's discuss some serious current affairs. You could get a question on Argentina, because recently something happened here. Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world by area. 8th largest by area. Okay, after India is the 7th. This is Argentina, 8th largest. Okay, I usually don't write numerics up to number 11. But anyway, chalo, we've written it. Then its capital is Buenos Aires. We have the president here, whose name is Alberto Hernandez. Okay. Now, what kind of currency? Peso. What kind of a question you might get? You might get a question on not the kinds of stuff I discussed. That is just to prepare for the worst. But it's vice president. Argentina has a vice president who was earlier president. Her name is Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner. She's a vice president. She has recently been sentenced to 6 years in jail for fraud, corruption, embezzlement, and all that stuff. So Cristina Fernandez, as she's popularly called, CFK. CFK has been sentenced to 6 years in jail. Of course, she has appealed her sentence, appealed the verdict, and so let's see where it goes. It may take years, my friends, for anything to come to a final judgment. But Cristina sentenced to 6 years in jail for corruption, stealing, fraud, embezzlement, all that stuff. Okay, so this is a question you could expect in any kind of exam that you could be sitting for. Bolivia. Bolivia's got two capitals. One is La Paz. It is considered the highest capital city in the world by altitude. By altitude, La Paz is one capital. The second is Sucre. What is it? Sucre. Okay, these are two capitals of Bolivia. The president is Luis Arce. Luis Arce. Luisarce. Luis Arce. Next. Currency. Boliviano. You know, this country is named after Sam Bolivar. You know, this guy was a freedom fighter, a local chap who led the freedom movement for a lot of countries around from the Spanish Empire. So, Bolivia from Bolivar. Okay, Sam Bolivar. Then we have Chile. Chile, the capital is Santiago. I'll bring this question back into the next session and I'll discuss Latin America. So you would understand why the names are like this. Santiago, the president is Gabriel Boric. Gabriel Boric. The currency is Chilean peso. Chilean peso. Yeah. Chalo. Lithium, of course, is is used in electric vehicles, in battery manufacturing, everything. But when people say electric vehicles are better than fossil fuel or combustion engines like petrol, diesel, what they fail to understand is that to dig lithium, to extract lithium, would burn a lot of fossil fuels, would damage the environment. Okay, and that would mean that to produce something that would sustain the environment, that would take care of the environment, we are damaging the environment. They say the road to heaven is paved with, or rather, the road to hell is paved, paved with good intentions. So whether we reach hell or heaven, things are bad, likely to get worse in the days to come. The CITES COP19 accepted the proposal to downgrade the status of the southern white rhinoceros from Appendix 1 to Appendix 2. Means things are okay now. Which of the following countries is home to the southern white rhino? All of them, actually. Okay, let's understand. That's a southern white rhino. In India, we have the Indian rhinoceros, which has one horn. This has two horns. You can see this. It's all hair. It's made of keratin, Keratin, keratin. Okay, they could weigh anywhere between 2,700 kilo to 3,900 kilo, and that's a lot of weight for a vegetarian creature. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at this index that I have for you. I just put it here. I mean, you know that I usually bring in extra stuff. Look at this. This is this, species evaluation scale. If a species is designated LC, means there is no need to worry about its existence. It will be there for a long time. It's of least concern. NT, what is it? And shall I write here? Yeah, I think I can write. I'll clear each of these as they come. Near threatened. Okay, so NT is near threatened. Then we have VU, which is vulnerable. Is it vulnerable? Vulnerable. EN, endangered. I am sure that you can spell this for yourself, but anyway, I am here for you. Endangered. Okay, now let's clear this. Let's look at this. Critically endangered. CR is critically endangered. Fair. What is EW? EW is extinct in the wild. Extinct in the wild means it no longer exists in the wild. Species, members of the species may exist within a zoo or some kind of domesticated environment. Okay, so in the wild it does not exist. And of course EX is extinct, as it says here. Fair. Shall we look at just the capitals, because we discuss other stuff about this. South Africa has 3 capitals. Let's skip it. Namibia, Windhoek. Windhoek. Kenya, Nairobi. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is Harare. Uganda, Kampala. Kampala. Yeah. Which Indian museum was conferred with the Award of Excellence at the UNESCO Asia Pacific Awards for the Cultural Heritage Conservation 2022? Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya. They have done a great job of preservation and everything. So, but there is something beyond this. Hey, if you have not been to the Salajang Museum in Hyderabad, I strongly recommend you visit this. It's a one man's collection, single person's collection. Who was Salajang and everything? Of course, you could know this if you would visit the museum. Okay, the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya was started in 1922 as Prince of Wales Museum of Western India. Prince of Wales Museum of Western India. Okay. Which Indian sites have won the UNESCO Asia Pacific Awards for Cultural Heritage Conservation? Now there are 3. These are awards. Now within these 3 there are categories. The Stepwells of Golconda Fort have been given the Award of Distinction. You could write this. Award of Distinction. Okay, these 2 Award of Merit. Okay, Kamarat is in Telangana. It's pretty close to where I am. And Mumbai, of course, you would know, it's in Maharashtra. I know that's something you already know. Golconda comes from 2 separate words. The fort is built on the mountain called Golconda, the hill called Golconda. What is Golconda? It comes from 2 separate words. Golla means shepherd. Konda in Telugu means, these are the 2 Telugu words, Golla and Konda. Golla means shepherd, one who grazes sheep and all that. Okay, and who rears, who rears sheep and all. And Konda means hill. So Golla Konda became Golconda. Golla Konda means, in a simple sense, shepherd's hill. A hill where before the fort was built, shepherds would get their livestock for grazing. So Golla Konda became Golconda. People think it's gold. That's why it's Golconda. The ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, has launched the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. The H in vehicle is silent. C-54, PSLV C-54, carrying OceanSat-3, also known as Earth Observation Satellite 6, and 8 Nano satellites. Which of the following is not part of the nano satellites? All of them are nano satellites. I want you to write what is an ocean sat. Please write ocean sat dash Earth observation satellite. Earth observation satellite. Earth observation satellite, comma, built. I'm breaking this in small parts. Earth observation satellite dash built, launched and operated, built, launched and operated by ISRO, by ISRO, by the ISRO. Next, it's dedicated, second point, dedicated to oceanography, dedicated to oceanography and atmospheric studies, atmospheric studies. Next point, it helps in documenting chlorophyll concentrations, comma, plankton blooms, documenting chlorophyll concentrations, plankton blooms, atmospheric aerosols. These are all terms you should know. Atmospheric is already there. Aerosols, particulate matter, PM it's called in caps, particulate matter and massive weather forecast, and marine, I think that's better. Massive would mean related to cyclone and all that. Marine weather forecast, okay. So through the last one, marine weather forecast, it predicts cyclones and all that stuff. Okay, chalo. Identify the sportsperson who has been named Nikshay Mitra Ambassador, an initiative under the Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. This is Dr. Deepa Malik. Dr. Deepa Malik. She, ladies and gentlemen, is the president of the Para-Olympic Committee of India. Para-Olympic Committee of India. Para-Olympic Committee of India. Next, TB survivor. Think about it. TB survivor. Next, 23 medals in shot put, javelin, swimming, motor racing, yes. Shot put, javelin, yeah, and discus throw. Next, winner of or recipient of Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Khel Ratna Award, comma, Padma Shri, comma, Arjuna Award, and President Role Model Award. President Role Model Award. She's around 52. Now, why did I mention that? Because she began her career at the age of 30. See this. Physical disability is no hurdle for some, because mentally they are strong, and like Dr. Deepa Malik, has been able to prove that it is mental strength, that counts. That no physical disability can come in the way of someone who is determined, someone who is disciplined, someone who is hardworking, someone who is willing to learn from every kind of failure. So, the right kind of ambassador. And that's the best part, is that she's a TB survivor. There's so much to learn, my friends. We just need to look around and we'll find inspiration. You look at your elders at home, you look at your parents, you look at your, say, some family member. It could be a sibling, it could be a friend, it could be some distant relative or some random person. Like Dr. Deepa is an inspiration for all of us. So work hard, very hard to build a better future, friends. Identify the correctly matched pairs. All of them are correctly matched pairs. But I would like to tell you a few things. Look at choice E. Special Forces of India. I would like to focus on this. Okay, please write this. Special Forces of India. Where? Below that, right? Special forces means these are elite forces. They are not pulled out for every kind, Tom, Dick and Harry kind of operation. Only exceptional operations would call for their presence, their involvement. So Indian Army has a special force called Para Special Force. Para Special Force. This is Indian Army. Indian Air Force. The special force is called Garud. Then Indian Navy. Marcos. Marine Commandos. Marine Commandos. Now India has other special forces apart from these three, which are ultra, specialist forces. We have two more, at least the ones that you should be knowing about, but they operate directly under the Ministry of Home Affairs. One is NSG. We discussed this. We mentioned the DG's name a while ago. National Security Guard, and RollsRoyce Special Group. RollsRoyce Special Group. If you have watched the movie Baby, you would know, how these raw elite forces operate. Ministry of Home Affairs directly controls two major special forces. One is the National Security Guard, the other is RollsRoyce Special Group. And those of you are not greatly familiar with RAW, it is Research and Analysis Wing. I repeat, Research and Analysis Wing, WING, Research and Analysis Wing. Research and Analysis Wing. It is India's external, or what is called foreign spy agency. Next. Hey, by the way, just one extra point. Malaysia has a new Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim. This is the new Prime Minister of Malaysia. Which company successfully tested the world's first hydrogen-powered jet engine? RollsRoyce. See, there are two RollsRoyces. One is RollsRoyce Motors, the other is RollsRoyce Holdings. We are discussing Rolls-Royce Holdings. Rolls-Royce Holdings is the world's second largest aircraft engine manufacturer. World's second largest aircraft engine manufacturer. The largest is General Electric. General Electric. Number one is General Electric. So Rolls-Royce Holdings is the world's second largest aircraft engine manufacturer. Okay. See, if you're discussing Rolls-Royce company, the car company, super luxury car company, that Rolls-Royce Motors is owned by BMW, the German luxury car maker. BAE Systems is the largest defense contractor in Europe. Largest defense contractor in Europe. In Europe. Largest defense contractor in Europe. So you don't really need to know all these things. Okay, maybe we could do one thing. We could write the names of the guys who run these companies. I wanted to tell you the names of the places where they're headquartered, but chalo, now write something else. Rolls-Royce. Warren East is the CEO. Warren East. Rolls-Royce Holdings. Warren East is the CEO. BAE Systems. Charles Woodburn. Charles Woodburn. Honeywell. Oh, Honeywell has had the same CEO for a long time. Darius Adam. How would you spell this actually? It is always difficult to remember the spelling. CZYK. I don't know how to pronounce this. Adam Eek. Typically Z is silent. Yeah. Adam Eek. Maybe it's something else. Boeing CEO is Dave Calhoun. Lockheed Martin. What's his name? James Takelet. James Takelet. ठीक है? The central banks of India and the United Arab Emirates discussed a mechanism to trade in local currency. Are discussing a mechanism. It should be are discussing. In this context, what's the currency in the United Arab Emirates? Dirham. Shilling, you could take one example. Kenya. Riyal, Iran. Dinar, Iraq. Jordan, Iraq. Algeria, plenty of countries. Riyal, Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Next. Name the world's largest active volcano that recently erupted for the first time in nearly 40 years. Mauna Loa. Among active volcanoes, it's the largest, but it's not exactly the largest volcano. It's one of the 3 largest volcanoes in the world. See, I don't really want to discuss this. Anyway, this is about 4169 meters. 4169 meters. I want to tell you about Hawaii. Okay. See, this is Hawaii. Let me clear this first. This is the United States. These are the states. You can see this is, California. This is California. This is the state of Texas. Where this is the Washington state. Now this is Canada, of course, as you would know. This is Greenland, which is owned by Denmark. United States, Alaska. Okay. This is Hawaii. This is Hawaii. Where is Hawaii? It's in the Pacific Ocean. It's about 3,200 kilometers from the main coast of what is called mainland coast of US. Mainland US. From here, this particular point to this, the distance is about 3,200 kilometers. Okay. How big is Hawaii? Hawaii is about 11,000 square kilometers. 11K square kilometers. 11K square kilometers. Okay. Next. Then we have what could be the population? It's about 15 lakh. 15 lakh population. It has 137 islands. Hawaii has 137 islands. All are volcanic islands. 137 volcanic islands, 15 lakh population. Why I am mentioning these numbers? Just to give you an idea. Nothing more. You don't have to remember this. Okay. And you know that the state of Hawaii became part of the US in 1959. So Hawaii was not a part of the US till 1959. It was not a state. So these are 48 states of America, contiguous stretch. This is the 49th state, Alaska. 50th is Hawaii. Okay. Now I want you to know that all these islands, Hawaii Islands, are the result of volcanic eruptions, magma and all that. Because of frequent eruptions of the 5 major volcanic mountains in this country, the area of the country is expanding. Now you may wonder how. Most of the lava flows onto the coast. It solidifies, the coast expands into the sea. Okay, that's how it is. Iceland is growing. Hawaii is growing. So there's so much we can learn, my friends. The capital of the state of Hawaii is Honolulu. Honolulu. Gee, I guess that should be fine. Yeah. Let me tell you one more thing. This is Alaska. This is Russia. This is Russia. This entire thing. This is the international date line. International date line. Alaska was purchased by the US from Russia. You know that? Yes. Look it up. It's a nice story. Which Indian badminton player has been nominated for the Badminton World Federation's Most Improved Player of the Year award for 2022? Nominated. Okay. It is Hasina Sunil Kumar Pranoy. Hasina Sunil Kumar Pranoy. But I want to tell you about the awards of BWF Awards, Player Awards 2022. Please write this. Best male player. Best male player. Victor Axelsen. Victor Axelsen of Denmark. Best female player. Akane Yamaguchi. Akane Yamaguchi. She is from Japan. She is from Japan. Most improved player. This one. He was nominated, but Pranoy did not win. Okay. 2 persons won Most Improved Player of the Year award. You could write 1. Muhammadu or Muhammad Adrianto. And Fazar Alfian. Both of Indonesia. Both of Indonesia. Next. What about Prannoy? What award did she win? Did he win? Yes, he did win. What is that? Best dressed player. Yes. Best dressed male player. Best dressed male player. Best player, best dressed female player. The long name is very long. Busanan Ong Fran Gan. Yeah, Ong Fran Gan. That's a Thai player. So let's skip this. Yeah. The Ministry of Power launched a scheme for the procurement of aggregate of 4500 megawatts for 5 years under the Shakti Policy. Shakti stands for, okay, scheme for harnessing and allocating koila transparently in India. I want you to write this. Shakti Policy dash power sector dash to ensure availability of coal, coal of coal to all thermal power plants, to all thermal, THERMAL, thermal power plants, to all thermal power plants in a transparent way. So a transparent way would be an objective way. No one can question, no one can accuse the government of playing favorites. Next. It also aims to reduce dependence on imports, coal imports, and thus promote domestic industries. Something extra? Yes. Top 3 producers, consumers. 1, 2, 3. The largest coal producer in the world is China. Second is India. Third is US. The funny thing, same consumer, same listing for consumers. 1, China. 2, India. 3, US. The top 3 producers are also the top 3 consumers. China produces nearly 46% of global coal. Yeah. The 7th edition of the Global Technology Summit will be held in the first week of December in Hyderabad. No, sorry. New Delhi. I'm so sorry. I thought it was in Hyderabad. That's why I said Hyderabad. In fact, I was discussing this with my friend. I thought, okay, this is going to be in Hyderabad. But no, it is actually in New Delhi. Boy, I got it wrong. Yeah, I would have failed in the exam if this were a question. Anyway, on a more serious note, what's the theme of the 2022 summit? The theme is geopolitics of technology. Geopolitics of technology. Geopolitics of technology. India's milk production registered a monumental increase in the last 8 years. In this context, identify the correct statements regarding milk production in India. All of them are correct. Someone asked me, why Operation Flood? What's the relationship of flood with this? Well, it's very simple. To flood the country with milk. That's the idea. Nothing else. To flood the country with milk. Yeah. So at one point, see, in the 1950s and 60s, we were net importer of milk powder and all that stuff. We were not good. We were not doing well. So the government of India embarked, some enterprising people like Varghese Kurian, Tribhuvan Das Patel, they embarked on setting up milk cooperatives, later National Dairy Development Board, NDDB, and they kind of launched this cooperative movement in sometime in the 1970. Operation Flood was launched on 26 November 1970. Remember this. So in celebration of the founding of Operation Flood, National Milk Day is observed. National Milk Day. That's about it. Nothing else. Today we are the largest milk producer in the world overall. Goat milk, cow milk, all buffalo milk, all kind of milk plus included is milk production. So we are the largest milk producer in the world. We have come a long way, my friends, but importantly there have been millions of farmers, millions of hard-working people behind this great achievement. Yeah. So National Milk Day, because on this day, that is on 26 November 1970, Operation Flood was launched to increase milk production and in rural areas and its consumption in urban areas. That's the way. Okay. Which country launched its long-awaited Indo-Pacific strategy, outlining a little under $2 billion in spending to boost military and cyber security in the region? Canada. This is Canada, my friends. It's a very, very, very large country. Very large country. How large is Canada? It's the second largest country in the world by area. 99 lakh square kilometers. 99 lakh square kilometers. Okay. It's a 99 lakh square kilometer country. The largest is Russia, 1.7 crore square kilometers. This is 99. India is less than 1/3 of this country's area. Okay. And Canada is not a major military power, my friends, but it's worried about the future. It's worried about the future because China has been deeply anti-Canada ever since the chief financial officer of Huawei, it's pronounced Huawei, was arrested in Canada upon the request of the US government. Okay. So things have been pretty bad between Canada and China. And as you know, China has been pretty aggressive in the Pacific Ocean. It has claimed a large swath of the territory here as its own sovereign place. Okay. So that's how things are, my friends. And from here, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to... Hey, why don't we look at the Prime Minister of Canada? The capital is Ottawa. The Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. The head of the state of Canada is the British monarch, currently Charles III, and Canadian dollar. I think we discussed all of this, so there's hardly anything for us to discuss considering these countries now. So I think this entire boundary is about 25,000 kilometers. 25,000 kilometers. The coastline of Canada, Pacific coastline of Canada. You see the boundary line between the US and Canada is the longest national boundary line. The longest boundary line between any two countries is between the US and Canada. I think it is about 8840 kilometer long. 40 kilometer long. A while ago we mentioned Hawaii. See this, if you look up this map, you'll find where is Hawaii. Here, this. It's quite far, isn't it? No wonder they're not taking the routes that I have drawn. Yeah. Which company has set up India's first private space vehicle launch pad at Sriharikota? At Sriharikota, you have the Satish Dhawan Space Center. You could write this. Satish Dhawan Space Center. India's main rocket launch center. Rocket launch center. India's main rocket launch center. Okay, next. What about this Agnikul Cosmos? Why don't you write a bit about this? It's founded by Moin SPM. I couldn't find the full name. On their own website I couldn't find it. Okay, and what is his name? Srinath Ravichandran. Srinath Ravichandran. These two guys have launched Agnikul Cosmos. Ladies and gentlemen, pretty young chaps. Yeah. I want you to write, yes, will launch Agniban rocket. They're soon going to launch Agniban rocket. This Agniban rocket will have Agni-let engine. You write this. Agni-let engine. What is specific? What is about this particular engine? It is, you could write, world's first single piece, PIEC, world's first single piece 3D printed world's first single piece 3-dimensional printed engine dash fully designed and manufactured in India. Fully designed and manufactured in India. Recently, Skyroot Aerospace, Choice 3, launched India's first private rocket. But they use ISRO's rocket launch facility. Whereas Agnikul is it has set up its own space vehicle launch pad within the ISRO premises. I mean, India is moving, India's space program is moving at rocket speed. Amazing, isn't it? So much to learn, my friends. People are doing exceptional work. Sundararaman Ramamurthy is a new managing director and chief executive officer of the Bombay Stock Exchange. What about National Stock Exchange? Ashish Kumar Chauhan. This is India's biggest stock exchange. This is Asia's oldest stock exchange. SEBI is the Securities and Exchange Board of India. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the regulator of the stock market in India. Stock exchanges, capital market, where companies raise capital, stock exchanges, capital markets, and of course, what is that? Stock market itself. SEBI is headed by Madhavi Puri Buch. Okay. NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, has a brand new chairperson. His name is KV Shaji. IBBI, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Bankruptcy Board of India. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. It's headed by Ravi Mittal, M-I-T-T-A-L, Mittal, Ravi Mittal. Citing racism concerns, the World Health Organization recently renamed monkeypox as mpox. There are too many things about this racism. People are moving to what is it? Indulging in cancel culture. You don't like me, you simply cancel me. That's it. So while the liberals say that they do not want racism, they do not want this and that, they are liberals, they say, progressives, they say, but if you would criticize them, they can't take it. So it is one way street for them. You take my way or it's a highway. Yeah. So let's not get into that discussion, but that's how the story goes. Monkeypox has become mpox. World Health Organization, it's headquartered in Geneva, and Geneva is in Switzerland. It's headed by Dr. Tedros Adhanom of Ethiopia. Adhanom of Ethiopia. Yeah. What word has been chosen as Word of the Year 2022 by America's oldest dictionary publisher, Merriam-Webster? The word is gaslighting. What's gaslighting? See, let's say you have someone around you who's pretty manipulative, who comes to you, shares their ideas, and they put enough doubt in your mouth. They manipulate you. They manipulate your thought process in such a way that you begin to doubt what you believe is right or not. Whether whatever you believe is fake, is false, doesn't exist, or exists but is not true. So somewhere they push you into doubting your own mental sanity. And I'm not kidding, there are people like this. Yeah. So gaslighting, if you want to know, I'll give you a simple definition, right? Manipulating someone so as to make them question their own beliefs and thoughts. Okay. See, this word comes from a play called Gaslight by a guy called Patrick Hamilton. It's a drama by Patrick Hamilton. It's a very old play, if I'm not wrong, sometimes in the late 1930s. Yeah, 1938. Okay. So in this novel, in this play, the author describes a certain kind of person who's very manipulative. Yeah. Hey, by the way, do you know what is the full form of this? You could write this. Let me clear this. Lesbian. I will not discuss this, but I'll certainly give you the full form. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, I is intersex, A is agender. Crazy. Some people also say asexual. They don't say agender, they say asexual. Both are one and the same. Okay. The problem with this entire approach is that Identity is put ahead of substance. And that's not the right thing. Work should speak. Who I am hardly matters. What matters is what I do. Everywhere it's the same thing actually. So if I were in America and I had said something like this, they would have cancelled my class. Boycott Bharat Jain, they would say. That's how the world has come. They say that the statues of Abraham Lincoln should be destroyed because he indulged in slavery. Some say, well, his policies abolished slavery. Some say, then some progressives, liberals say that the statues of George Washington shall be demolished. The city of Washington shall be renamed. Why? Because Washington owned slaves. See, by denying the past, we are denying our children a peep into the past to learn from the mistakes of the past. Right, wrong is secondary. Yeah. So much to worry about. Which nation assumed the presidency of the United Nations Security Council for December? India. As you know, the UN Security Council has 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members. So India has got the presidency again this year. Okay. Just the capitals. Croatia, Zagreb. They lost a semi-final against Argentina in the 2022 World Cup Football Men's Championship. Yeah. Zagreb is the capital. Belgium, Brussels. Brazil, as you know, Brasilia. South Africa, oh my god, these guys are after us. So finally we'll write all the 3 capitals name. Cape Town, capital 1. Capital 2. Pretoria, capital 3. Bloemfontein. Okay? Chalo. According to a report of which international institution, nearly 160 to 200 million, that's about 16 to 20 crore Indians could be exposed to lethal heat waves annually. The World Bank has come out with this report that says that, by 2030, by 2050, some say 2040, don't worry too much. We already have heat waves. Yeah, we have had heat waves for a long time. But this particular report is sounding alarm bells. It's saying that things are likely to get worse, much worse. See, 20 crore Indians would be exposed to lethal, dangerous heat waves. In North India, the heat wave is called Loo, L-O-O. Now, heat waves could make people fall ill, which also would mean that their productivity would decline and finally they may lose their jobs. It's always there. As temperatures rise, it is likely, the report says, that one AC would be sold every 15 seconds. Which means there will be a 435% annual increase in GHG, greenhouse gas emissions. Can you believe this? I went through a report, so I can tell you what they are talking about. So, as temperatures rise, things become really bad. Every 15 seconds, one AC would be sold, and that would lead to an additional 435% annual increase in greenhouse gas emissions, which would mean the earth will become warmer further. Further warmer. So things are going to get worse, as I said in the beginning. But this also presents an opportunity that Indian government has launched in 2019, India Cooling Action Plan something, which is about training people to ensure that the technologies we use don't generate enough heat, don't generate enough emissions so as to damage the environment, and thus can improve productivity and of course create more jobs. So let's hope things get better, my friends, for all of us. And if you look at UNDP, United Nations Development Program, I'll just give you the full forms now. United Nations Development Program is UNDP. UNCTAD is a United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. I repeat, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Okay. IMF, International Monetary Fund. WTO, World Trade Organization. Okay. India will assume the chairmanship of Wassenaar Arrangement on 1st January 2023 for a period of 1 year. Wassenaar Arrangement is a multilateral export control regime wherein member states exchange information on various issues like conventional arms and everything. I want you to write the full title of this. Wassenaar dash Netherlands. It's a place in Netherlands. Wassenaar is in Netherlands. Okay. Next. All right. The full name is Wassenaar Arrangement on export controls for conventional arms and dual use goods and technology. I repeat, Wassenaar Arrangement on export controls for conventional arms and dual use goods and technologies. Okay. Next, it is a multilateral export control regime. So while the treaty is not legally binding, members cannot sell to each other certain kinds of arms and all that stuff. Next, last point. Signed in 1996. Head office at Vienna, which is in Austria. (42 members). It has 42 participating members. Yeah. Next, last one, I guess. In an advisory to FM radio channels, frequency modulation radio channels, the Ministry of I&P asked FM radio channels against playing songs or broadcasting content glorifying alcohol, gun violence, all kinds of stuff, which are bad, socially bad. There's hardly anything to discuss. Yeah, let's go. According to the US Department of Defense report, which country now has more than 400 nuclear weapons, approximately doubling its nuclear arsenal in just 2 years? China. See, there are 5 declared nuclear weapons powers. You could write 5 declared nuclear weapons powers. Rank 1, Russia is said to have about 5950. Take a round figure, 5950 nuclear warheads, nukes. Okay. 2, US, about 5500. See, when I say 5500, it's about between 54 and 55. Fair? Yeah. Number 3, China, around 400. 4, France, 290. 5, UK. The numbers vary. Some say it's 225. 6, Pakistan, around 165. 7, India, around 160. Okay. Then there is one, see, these are top 5 declared nuclear weapons countries. Okay? These 6 and 7 plus another country 8, Israel, then 9, North Korea, have not declared their weapons. See, India and Pakistan have openly tested nuclear weapons. So has North Korea. But when it comes to the Israeli policy, they have a policy called NCND. Neither confirm nor deny. They don't say we don't have nuclear weapons, but they don't also deny that they don't have nuclear weapons. So neither confirm nor deny is their policy, official policy. Okay. So the world has not accepted India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel as nuclear weapons states. There are only 5 nuclear weapons states. Though we are undeclared, but we have nuclear weapons. Okay. Yeah. So 9 countries around the world have nuclear weapons. 9 countries. Fair. That's all from me, Bharat C. Jain. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious.